So blastocyst grading is a combination of numbers and letters. It's a little bit of a strange way of thinking about it, but if you think of a blastocyst as a football, what will gradually happen is that football will begin to inflate, and if it's less than what we call 20% inflated, it gets a 1. If it becomes between 20 and 50% inflated, it becomes a 2. And once it's fully inflated, it becomes a 3. Once that shell left over from your egg, which surrounds the embryo, gets really paper thin, then it's called a 4. And when the embryo starts to break through that shell left behind, that's called a 5, or a hatching blastocyst. And once the embryo was fully out and that shell's left behind, that's called a fully hatched, or given a 6. So that's the first part of the blastocyst grading. The second digit is to do with a letter, which can be graded in different ways. Some clinics will do it A to C, some will do it A to E, and that is measuring the inner cell mass, which is the bit that goes on to make the baby. So an A grade would be nice, big, chunky cells that are all stuck together. Grade B would be those nice, chunky, great big cells, but they're not quite as stuck together as they'd like. A C would be smaller. In some clinics, a D will be if it's starting to break down, or an E grade would be if we can't see one full stop. And the second letter or third digit is based on the streptoderm, which is the bit that goes on to make the placenta. And again, that's graded A to C in most clinics, but can also be graded A to D. A means that nice cobbled street effect that you might see. B means it varies between how you look at it. If you think of it again as that football, it might be good quality on one part of the football, but not so good on the other part. A grade C means those nice big cobbled, those nice small cobbled effect are the more like big paving slabs, and those cells get bigger and bigger and bigger. And a D would be degenerating.